Hello besties, welcome back to my channel. Today is a day that I've been so excited for so long. I don't know why I carved a day out in my diary for it, because I could have done this anytime, honestly, but I'm going what I like to call bookshop hopping. So basically there is a town near me that has, I would say, the three most popular UK bookstores, and I just thought to myself, I've read the majority of my physical TBR. I reckon like 80%, at least by the time this month's over, definitely the books that I've got planned to read would be about 80% of my TBR read. So I thought, let's treat myself, like let's buy some books, let's have a great time. Valentine's Day on Wednesday, it's Saturday today, so I thought this can be my little Valentine's treat to myself. I mean, it's the perfect excuse, is it not? So we're going to be hitting the works first, because bargain, bargain, bargain. Honestly, quite dangerous. I could bankrupt myself in the works, to be perfectly honest with you. So we definitely need to have some kind of restraining order. Wait, no, not a restraining order. That's literally something stalkers get. We need to have some restraining abilities, because otherwise I'm going to spend all of my budget in there before I've even hit the other shops. So go to the works to get like my most anticipated books, if they sell them, because obviously, yeah, they sell them for a much cheaper price. Then we're going to hit both whsmith and Waterstones, who often do like buy one get one free, or 2 for 1, or buy one get one half price, that kind of situation. So I'll see what books they have in those deals, and if any are intriguing to me, then I'll pick them up. Having said that, one book that I just feel like I'm 1000% going to buy regardless, or whether it's on an offer or not, is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I have just been dreaming of this book ever since I heard of it. I just think it's right up my street. The only cozy fantasy that I've read is Legends and Lattes, and I had such a good time, but I feel like Emily Wilde is going to be just like even higher up than that. So I think if I can, I'll 100% be coming home with a copy of that today. And then once I've hit the 3 main bookstores, I think I'm then also going to thrift. I might go to a couple of charity shops and just see what gems I find in there, because my digital TBR is huge. And there's a lot of books that I added on there years ago that still kind of appeal to me, but are probably, not going to be sold in mainstream bookstores. But you never know what you can find in a charity shop. So you never know. I would love, and this is probably a little bit ambitious, but I would love to find Caraval in a thrift shop. Who knows, honestly. I read the first Caraval from my library, like a year and a half ago, and I was like undecided on how I felt about it, but I think I was in a bit of a reading slump at the time. I still enjoyed it, but I didn't love it as much as I actually thought I would, given the concept and everything. And as I say, I have Once Upon a Broken Heart on my bookshelf, but while I know it's not necessary, I just really want to read the Caraval trilogy before I go into Once Upon a Broken Heart, just because that works well in my brain. But obviously Caraval isn't like a new series, so part of me is like, if I have to buy it like full price, then, fair play, I'll do that. But if I can thrift it, I've looked on Vinted a few times. I missed my opportunity because it was being sold by a few people for like pretty damn cheap, but some of the copies are like a little bit scuffed, and it put me off. I should have just gone for it, because ever since like Once Upon a Heart has blown up, you just can't find affordable versions on there anymore. So should have done that when I had the opportunity, but never mind. But yeah, if I can find like that, or a couple of classics, like obviously Little Women, I really want to read. And if I can't get a copy of that, then I probably will be borrowing it from the library really soon. Uglies by Scott Westerfield has been on my TBR for literally 10 years. And I'd also like to read, can't remember what the actual series name is, and I think there's different names, but basically all of those books by Cassandra Clare. Again, they've been on my TBR since I was in secondary school. So I would really like to dive into that universe maybe as well this year. So again, if I can find some copies of that, then that'd be great. So that's the goal. We'll just see what I come back with, and honestly hope that I do manage to hold myself back, because I'm going on my own, so there is no one to tell me no. I'm holding myself accountable right here. We've got to be sensible. We can't go crazy. I also tried doing a bow in my hair, like an actual, like just normal ribbon. I have a couple of bows that I could just clip in, but I bought some pink ribbon for my Instagram for some photos, and I tried to do it, and I think I'm obsessed. It adds a little pop of colour because I'm very monochrome today, but like Oh, I mean, I can't really tell if it looks good, and I'm never gonna know until I edit this video, but this is what we're working with. I love it. But anyway, it's much later than I wanted it to be in terms of leaving to do this. It's currently almost 10:30 and it's about a 20-minute drive away. So it's not looking too bad outside. Hoping it doesn't rain. I really want to wear my gilet that I got for Christmas. It's so fluffy and comfy, and yeah, I think it's not, I don't think it's too cold today, so I think I can get away with it. So yeah, let's go. I'm so excited. Can't wait to show you what I come back with. Okay, I put on the gilet and I don't think I'm actually vibing with it. I think it looks a bit weird. I think it's the stripes. I think it just offsets it a bit. But I really wanted to wear it today. I just don't think this is the vibe, is it? I don't know. But for a start, I think this definitely needs a belt, so let's do that. I just don't know. Am I convinced? No, I think I'm overthinking it. I think I'm just going out for a fun time, and I think I don't need to worry too much about how I'm looking, even though I think it's also like just the fact that I'm wearing ripped jeans. Like, is that just too much of a like cute grunge? I'm overthinking it. Let's just stick with it. It's fine. It's fine. We're sticking with it. I can't even lie, like, you just missed probably one of the most chaotic half an hours ever. I've made a quick pit stop. I'm actually gonna move my chair. I can't go back though that far because the books are behind me. I don't want to squash them. But I've just had a cheeky McDonald's purchase, which wasn't the plan, but basically started on the thrift part of my bookshop hop, we're calling it, and it started to rain, and I kind of should have equipped myself better because it's not like it looked really sunny outside when I left, but when I checked the weather, it was like, oh, it wasn't meant to rain. So I was just like, sweet, took that for gospel. It wasn't heavy rain, but it was just that drizzly rain, which I feel like sometimes gets you wetter. And basically, obviously I have like 2 bags of books, and I'm like, they're brand new and it's slowly raining, and I'm like, I don't want these to get ruined before I've even got them home. So I was just trying to like jump from store to store. Luckily they're all very close together. I wasn't outside for like too long, but it was just like, you know, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, I don't want these books to get ruined. I hit like 3 thrift shops, I think. Picked up 1 book for 50p. Can't wait to show you that later. So I was like, right, let's call it a day. It's getting a bit miserable. I probably could have scoured for a couple more charity shops, but I thought there's just no point. Like, let's not do that. So I was in my last charity shop on the way back to the car park, and I suddenly thought, oh my god, I didn't pay for a parking ticket. There's one thing about me, it's that I will get out of parking every time if I can. If it means I've got to walk an extra 5 minutes to get to where I need to be, don't care. I just hate paying to park. Hate it. Always have, always will. So it's actually quite abnormal for me to pay to park, but in that area I wasn't really sure of where you can park for free, and I just didn't want to like risk it because, you know. So I thought I'll park in this like big car park. Other car parks that I do park in, they're like a pay as you leave situation, and I just didn't clock like to check. So I literally parked in this car park and just got out and left and went on my merry way to the high street. And it wasn't until I was on my way back and I was like, I did not pay. Like, I didn't even check if I had to pay before, which is more common, I feel like, than paying afterwards. So like, I was convinced that I would have a parking ticket. I didn't, but I was like, do I quickly get one now just to like make up for it, even though I'm leaving? Because I was like, I don't know if there's cameras, and then I'm gonna get like some message through the mail like, you didn't pay to park, here's like a £50 fine or whatever. Oh my god. So I literally panic rang my mum like,
quick, I need your advice, what do? Do I just hopefully get away with it, or do I pay?
And then she was like, obviously I'd pay, because I'd rather £2 parking than like a £50 fine. And I just didn't even think of that, and I was like, yeah, good point. So I ran to the ticket machine, bought my ticket, left. And then I was like, right, again, I was gonna go and grab lunch in the high street. I was gonna go to Costa or Greg's. I walked into Costa and just held myself back for a sec and thought, girl, you've almost spent £50 on books. Do you really need to be spending like a tenner probably on lunch in Costa? No. So then I thought, okay, next best option, Greg's. If you're a UK girly, you know Greg's is a place to go for a delicious lunch that's like peanuts to pay for. So right, I go to Greg's, bearing in mind obviously it's raining. I'm walking along and I'm like, sweet, and then I get close and I realise that the people outside the door aren't just like chilling or looking in, they're queuing. I was like, nah, I'm not standing out in the rain to queue for a sausage roll. Not quite the one. So then I was like, okay, what do we do now? Okay, great, I'll hit my last thrift shop and then I'll go to McDonald's drive-through on the way home. Again, never really been to this McDonald's because I don't tend to come this way into town. I go into another town usually. So it's still a little bit foreign to me. The way I got lost like 3 times on my sat nav, I hate to admit it. The chaos. As soon as I make one wrong turn, following a sat nav, that's it. It's stress city. I ain't got a clue where I'm going. I forget all road laws. I'm just pulling out here and there. Absolute fucking nightmare. If you saw me during this carnage and you thought, what an idiot driver, fair play, ma'am, because I would have said the same thing. That was embarrassing. An embarrassing performance from me. Anyway, I've got my wrap. I've got a toffee latte to soothe the stress, and a cheeky little sugar donut. We're not going to talk about that, but anyway, I'm going to scran this, chill the fuck out, and then we're going to go to home, obviously, and I'm going to show you the books I bought. There's a lot, and I'm absolutely stoked about it. Can't wait. The way that I'm not even kidding. Oh my god. Okay, so we bought a lot of books today, but that was that's what we set out to do. I've got a shelf back there that is full of space, so I'm very excited to put these on there. Let's just be very transparent. How much did I spend today? I think I spent £45, thereabouts. No. Yes. £45, but the amount of books that I have in front of me is insane, like insane. I bought from The Works, a couple from whsmith because they were doing a 2 for £14 on paperbacks, so ones that I don't tend to find in The Works I picked up from there. I did go into Waterstones, but their buy one get one half price books just weren't really doing it for me, and I'll admit I didn't even get a copy of Emmy Wilde. And that was like the one book that I was like so eager to come back with, plus another one actually, which I completely forgot about, which was Daisy Hates, because Into the Dark literally comes out this month, or it might even be out already, or by the time this goes up, I'm not sure. And I've only read the first one, and that is probably my second favourite book of all time. So the way that I still haven't read any more from the MP universe is criminal. And I did see Daisy Hates in The Works like a few months ago, and I didn't get it because I just grabbed the first one, trying to be sensible. And now I can't find it in The Works ever. And I feel like when I've gone online, it just says it's not available. So I think that's just going to be like an Amazon purchase. I could have got it from Waterstones probably, but just completely forgot about it. So the 2 books I was like desperate in my heart to have, I don't actually have, but it's fine. I made up for it with what I do have. We're going to start off with what I bought in The Works, which is where most of the damage was done. I think I spent £30 in there, but my god, like this was the bag that I bought with me to do my book shopping today. The way I literally filled this up and then still had more books from The Works alone, and was like, yeah, I'm gonna need a carrier bag because this is my first shop and I already can't fit anything else in this. I don't know what planet I was on thinking that this would be enough, but let's dive in anyway. So the first book that I got, so The Works do, obviously, yeah, so many amazing deals, but one of their incredible deals is their £3 or £6, which tends to be more just like what I would call filler books. So a lot of them don't interest me. They're like really fluffy romances, like the kind of books you'd go on to Goodreads and it'd only have like a 3-star average rating, which isn't a bad rating. And honestly, you should never really judge a book by its average Goodreads Storygraph rating, but I don't know, they're just those books, you know, they're just those books that you're just like, nah, maybe I'll pick one up and see if it's a good time, but I'm not that interested. But sometimes I do have very good books in that deal. And I've got to say, I think the best selection that they ever put in was Chestnut Springs. I've got the first 3. I'm reading Powerless literally in the next few days, I think. Can't wait for Jasper and Sloane's story. But while I was in there, I was looking at their 3 for £6 and I was like, oh, what should I get? And there was a few, like, to be fair, aside from Chestnut Springs, I was interested in, but I thought, do you know what? Screw it, let's just complete my little collection. So I thought, let's add these 2 to that deal. Oh. I picked up Reckless and Hopeless. Now I have a very complete set for Chestnut Springs because I've read the first 2 books, I loved them. So I just know that I'm gonna wanna read all 5 books in the series. So I don't feel bad for buying these very preemptively because I know I'm going to get to them and I know I'm probably going to enjoy all of them. So I got those 2 for the 3 for £6, and then the one to top it off, and I heard Hayley Pham talking about this recently, and yeah, I'm actually still to read tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow from this author, but I did pick up The Storied Life of AJ Vickery because she gave this, I think she gave us a 5-star. It's only small, I think it's meant to be like 200 or so pages. And it's about honestly, I read the blurb very loosely, about a bookshop guy. I just thought, yeah, sign me up, I'm ready. Also love the cover. I don't think the one that Hayley was reading looked like this, but I'm low-key obsessed with that. That is such a stunning cover. I'm loving that she's still going for like the retro gaming kind of font, like that's so cool. But yeah, this is not on my radar at all. I don't even think this is on my Goodreads TBR, but I just saw it and obviously I had Hayley in the back of my mind. But I was like, we trust bestie Hayley, we trust her thoughts. So it's come back with me. So that was what I got for my 3 for £6. So literally all of these already, and it's just dented me £6. The Works is literally my second home. If this flat burns down tonight, just ship my stuff there. I will set up camp. I would be I'll probably be happier, to be honest. And then a book that I really wanted to read this winter, which means I kind of have to get a wriggle on actually, because a few weeks time, it's actually technically going to be spring. But I picked up Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I haven't read any Hannah Grace yet. I haven't delved into the Maple Hills series yet. So this has been on my radar for a while. I know it's pretty spicy, which is fine by me. To be honest, I could have probably picked up a better copy. This one is slightly battered, but that's fine. So as you can see, this one was only £5. And I don't know, I haven't really read any sports romances, honestly. If you saw in my wrap up, I tried to read From Luke Off With Love, which isn't like a hockey romance or a sports romance per se. It's just like figure skating romance, so kind of the same vibe, but I feel like also slightly different. But yeah, I've seen this, obviously everyone's seen this everywhere. I've wanted to pick it up for a while, but it just kept getting pushed to the back of my priorities. But this was on. I just love the cover. Like, it's so simple, but I've always loved this cover. So that brings our total to what? £7 spent so far. Then I'm sorry, I'm so excited to read this book. This was actually very hard. I knew for a fact that I was going to be picking this up from the Works today. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Holy moly, I have... Do you know what, right? Do you want to know something funny? Because I feel like this book has only blown up recently, especially probably since like Sarah and that read it and obviously rated it so high. But I remember when, I think it must have been like the end of summer, was when the Works were releasing the Chestnut Springs series and they were getting the first 3 in, so Flawless, Heartless and Powerless. And initially for the UK girlies, I think we were all so excited that they were literally going to be in the 3 for £6 that we all just obviously pounded in and picked up our copies, and it was quite hard for the first few weeks to get your hands on it because it just kept selling out. And I remember every day I was trying to go on the website and like search to see if they'd got them back in stock yet. And I remember this popped up and they must have only just started stocking this, and I was like, what is that? Like, that is not the Powerless I'm after. I want Powerless by Elsie Silver. I don't want this. I just remember the cover just stuck in my mind. And then literally like probably less than a month later, I saw that Sarah Caroli was like obsessed with this book. And then ever since then, booktube girlies have read it. And obviously everyone on like socials have read it, TikTok, whatever. I was like, oh, I really shouldn't have slept on that. Like I shouldn't have just batted that off straight away. So I've been wanting to read this for so long. I've got time because I think her next book is going to be called Reckless, and I don't think that comes out until maybe July time. But I've just heard such good things about the world building, just the plot in general, the chemistry and the banter, and oh God, yeah. I am so ready to throw myself into this. And actually, yeah, I do think the cover is more stunning than I give it credit for. Like, then another series that I've been gagging to start pretty much since I started my time on Bookstagram and everything, and I can't believe I still haven't gotten around to it yet, is the Twisted series by Anna Huang. Is it Huang or Huang? I always say Huang. I don't know why I said Huang on a whim there. I haven't read anything from this author. I have been sleeping on her work. So it's time to break the cycle and get on it. This is the first in the Twisted series, I think. Do you know what? I didn't even check. Yeah, okay, I think it is the first book. I see every now and then like reels or TikToks or whatever of like a specific chapter or like moment within these books, and they just sound something I'd be quite interested in, not gonna lie. I mean, some of you are probably gonna get so excited, and I'm so ignorant at the moment, but I see so much about Reese Larson. I don't even think he's in this book. No, this is Alex Volkov. I have seen his name around. I think Reese Larson might be Twisted Games or something. I thought I'd pick up the first book in this series and see how it goes, and hopefully I love it as much as everyone else seems to. I can continue on with the series. But yeah, this was I think the most expensive book that I picked up from the works today, which is pretty crazy because I feel like these, yes, don't get me wrong, like these are popular, but I feel like I don't see these on TikTok or like online nowhere near as much as I have other books that I've picked up. So that's quite interesting, I think. We're still not done. Honestly, I bought so many books today. A very, 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 very recent release. So I might actually read this pretty soon so that I can keep on top of the curve. No, ahead of the curve. And that's Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I kind of forgot this was coming out, to be honest, but I haven't even read the blurb, but all I know is that it involves a vampire and a werewolf and they fall in love. I'm sorry, that's all I need to know. I don't care about the rest. Sign me up, I'm there. As far as I know, this is obviously quite a new, not genre because it's still romance, but like a slightly different avenue for Ali Hazelwood to take on. Most of her romances are obviously STEM, or she also brought out Check and Mate, which is still a romance, but like a YA chess related romance. So again, this is a very different path for her to go down, but I've only read The Love Hypothesis. Love Theoretically Again is on my TBR for this month, so I should be getting to that soon. But I really enjoyed The Love Hypothesis. It wasn't a 5-star read, but like a lot of other people, but I still really enjoyed it and had a great time. I think I gave it like 4 stars or something. So I have high hopes for this, hoping that I can get to it soon. Just sounds like right up my street. It's kind of giving Twilight, I guess, which I have never read, but we're not going to talk about that. And then there's 2 more books that I bought, and these are books that I've definitely had in my mind, like, one day maybe I'll read them. But I was encouraged to pick them up today because they are, bearing in mind, I feel like when I walk into the works, every book is on sale, because if I was to walk into like Waterstones or whsmith or go on Amazon, I know for a fact they'd be more expensive. I don't know how the works do it, honestly. I don't know how they managed to cut their prices so low, but the next 2 books were literally even cheaper. Like they were on like an even bigger sale, which is crazy. So the first one, which I kind of forgot about, but I've seen it a couple of times and it just sounds like right up my street, is The League of Gentlewomen Witches by India Holton. Haven't heard of this author before, but I remember seeing the cover and falling in love with it. I mean, come on, like how stunning is that cover? Absolutely obsessed. And it's just giving historical fiction, romance, probably older than like Bridgerton, Regency. Oh God, I'm here for that because, you know, that just sounds like a bit of me. But like, obviously there's witchcraft involved, like, oh my God, sign me up. There's a tiny little bit on the back that says, Miss Charlotte Pettifer belongs to a secret society skilled in a very particular art. That is to say, although it mustn't be said too loudly, witchcraft. It literally is described as the Princess Bride meets Jane Austen. I think I hope I'm gonna love this. It was half price off of the £5, so this literally cost me £2.50. Mind-blowing. I just saw it, I saw the half price sticker and I just thought, yeah, now is the time to finally pick this up, because I've seen it many a time. I've kind of just put it to the side of my brain, thought maybe one day. Today was the day that I thought, no, it's coming home with me. And then the next one I don't think I'm going to get to for a while, but again, it was on half price and I just thought, a sale's a sale at the end of the day, and that is The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. I read The X Hex a while ago now, maybe like 3 years ago, and I loved it. I was obsessed with it. I gave it 5 stars. I'd actually like to go back and reread it because I've forgotten most things about it, but it was just giving witchy Gilmore Girls vibes, and there was like alcohol involved and banter, and oh my god, it was just so much fun. And this is the next book. I think this might be like an interconnected standalone situation, I think. But yeah, like I say, I don't really remember the characters from the X Hex, so it might be worth doing a reread. But obviously this is giving autumnal Halloween vibes, so am I gonna get to this soon? Probably not. Even though I do really want to read it because, as I say, I loved the first one so much. It probably will sit on my shelves until autumn, which is crazy saying that because we are literally only in February, but no regrets, guys. It was £2, don't come for me. And I just forgot, how pretty each chapter is. If you haven't read these books before, you find one that's easy to show you. Look at the little art that they have at the beginning of each chapter. Like, it's so cute. That concludes my works haul. 9 books for 30 quid. I mean, that's averaging out almost £3 a book. It just blows my mind every time. And then we went to whsmith, which, if you're not from the UK, it's not exclusively a bookshop. They do sell a lot of books in there, but they also do stationery. But yeah, their book collection is pretty good, and they do a lot of like half price hardbacks, or they also have, like I say, a 2 for £14 on paperbacks offer. And it's not all paperbacks, obviously, it's like a select few, but they had a really good selection in there. Honestly, I would have picked up a lot more of them, but a lot of the books in their offer you'd still be able to get from like the works for cheaper. So I kind of tried to pick books I don't really see in the works that often. So I picked up this, don't know why, but this just makes me really excited. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Again, we're going to talk about Hayley here. I know this is Hayley fam's all-time favourite series, and I know nothing about it, but I just know that I've been so excited to pick it up. Maybe now should be the time to actually read the back. Should I read the back? Let's read the back. Oh my god. Yeah, it sounds amazing. It sounds perfect. I mean, Leigh Bardugo likes it, and we trust Queen because she wrote the Six of Crows duology and the Shadow and Bone trilogy. So we trust her alone, but we've also got Hayley back in it. And I just wanted to make sure that, I feel like a lot of the works books were romances, but I managed to try and get a few more fantasy-esque books in there because do I prefer fantasy over romance? Honestly, possibly yes. I feel like I read a lot more romance than fantasy, but fantasy books are often the ones that I get obsessed with, and that will stay with me for a long time, and I have the most fun with because I've always been a fantasy girly my whole life. And so yeah, I just wanted to make sure I came home today with a few new fantasy books and maybe like the starts of some new fantasy series. So as soon as I saw this in whsmith offer, I just picked it up immediately, no thoughts given. Yeah, I can't wait. I also just love the fact that I share my name with her. That means nothing. It literally means nothing, but makes me happy. So the second one I got, which, thinking about it, I've completely gone against everything I said because I definitely could have got this cheaper in the works, but I kind of just lost my head a bit and just like, oh, yoink, I love it. And that's Check in May by Ali Hazelwood, another one of hers. I've been wanting to read this again for a while. It came out, I think, November time last year. I've heard very mixed reviews from some people. It's meant to be YA romance, although from what I've heard, a lot of people disagree with that and would still class this as more of an adult romance. To be honest, for me, I don't really care. As long as I enjoy the book, I'm not too worried about what it's categorised as. I feel like chess is something that's not often explored, obviously, in these kind of books. And I watched The Queen's Gambit, is that what it's called? I think so, on Netflix last year maybe, or the year before, and I loved it. And I know squat about chess. I could tell you where all the pieces go, but I can't for the life of me fathom how to like checkmate somebody. I'm not smart enough for that. I don't find it like a boring subject, so I'm really excited to read this. Let's go in with the covers again. Adorable cover, obsessed, love it. Yeah, we're going in strong again with Ali Hazelwood. I trust her writing and I've enjoyed one of her books, so I thought, why not buy 2 more today? Let's do it. Like I say, I did go into Waterstones. I didn't find anything. I looked for Emily Wilde, couldn't find it. I literally looked in fiction, YA, fantasy, couldn't see it anywhere. And then completely forgot about Daisy Hates, so I might have to buy it off Amazon like stat, because I just really want to continue in the MPU. So I've got one more book. So out of the 3 or 4 thrift shops, I managed to find one book, and it was 50p. I was actually really buzzing. I annoyed at myself. I should have picked up 2 more, because there was a copy of Evelyn Hugo in there, and I've read that book a very long time ago. And I do still have it. I have it on my Kindle, but sometimes it's just nice to have the physical copy. And I'm annoyed that I didn't pick it up. It was literally at £1.50. Like, I should have just grabbed it, but I put it back and I saw this instead, which is The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas. I read This Managed Love Deception last year and I freaking loved it. I loved her writing. I loved the way that she wrote her characters. I loved the plot. So this is obviously, again, I think an interconnected standalone about one of the characters' relations or something from The Spanish Love Deception. For 50p, like, I literally can't complain. This book is in such good condition. Like, it pretty much, other than that one dog ear I just found, it practically looks brand new. Even the spine is like not that badly cracked. So I was so excited when I found this, and it didn't have any price on it, and obviously I knew it was going to be somewhat cheaper, but I went up Says Hill and I was like, oh, how much is this going for? And she was like 50p, and I was like, take my money, I will have this for 50p. Yeah, so I'm really excited to delve back into Elena's writing, because like I said, I really enjoyed the first one. I don't know, just like the cover of this has always intrigued me. For a start, this is just so ridiculous, but like the little pizza slice, like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm obsessed with pizza. I don't know why, but immediately I'm like, yeah. It was giving me like Friends vibes, as in like obviously Joey and his obsession with pizza, and I just kind of viewed this guy as Joey and this girl as like a Monica or a Rachel or somebody. Probably more Rachel by the looks of her fashion. She looks like she's slaying, I'm not gonna lie. And it's set in New York, and yeah, it was giving Friends vibe romance. Been on my radar for a while. For 50p, could not leave that in the charity shop. So there we go. That is all the books that I've bought today, and now I need to find space for them on my shelves. I'm actually also going to be filming a mini bookshelf tour video coming for you soon. I do have a confession. I have a confession. I said in my last video, my last 2 videos maybe, oh my goodness, that I was going to be filming a House of Flame and Shadow reading vlog. Jokes on me, because I didn't. In my defense, Kate, I started to film it, but for a start it took me, I think, just over a week to read it, which isn't bad. Like, it's not a problem, but majority of the time I was reading it was in the evenings after work. It was just always dark. The footage just was not doing it for me, and I thought, I don't think I want to make this into a video because I'm not very happy with the bits and bobs that I've got. So then I thought, oh, should I just like, once I've read it, I'll just create like a spoilery review video for people that have read it and want to know my thoughts. And then I just thought, I don't know how long I can talk about it for a whole video. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have been talking for a while and I just don't think I've got that many thoughts on it. So I will obviously give my thoughts in my February wrap up, but I just thought, I don't think it's actually worthwhile making an entire video on it. But just rest assured that I finished it. I've got my thoughts in my brain, and they will be coming to you at the end of the month if you're interested. In the meantime, if you want a spoiler review video, watch Destiny's, because she's literally just uploaded an 1.5 hour long video of her reading and talking about her thoughts about the book. So I will always direct you there if you haven't seen that already. I hope you enjoyed my bookshop hop day. I had the best time. A grand total of 12 books, I think. Yeah, 12 books. I think this should keep me occupied for a little while. Maybe we'll do another one of these in a few months' time. There's still some books I'm gonna reserve from my library and whatnot in the meantime, and there's still books on the shelf I haven't quite got to, so yeah, we're definitely set for a couple of months, let's say, at least. Because I'm also buying the Throne of Glass series in the next week or so from Amazon. So I hope you have had a lovely week. Let me know down in the comments what you're currently reading in February. I am having like a very romance heavy month because, you know, it's Valentine's month, so it's a good excuse as any to read a ton of romance books. And like I say, with Anna Huang and that, it's forcing me to read some new authors or return to others that I've loved and haven't read for a while. So it was just a good excuse, you know. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that lovely stuff. And I will see you next week with a brand new video. Bye everyone.